The son of the greatest Viking, Bjorn Lothbrok, was born into a world of warriors, ships, and snow-covered lands. His father, Ragnar Lothbrok, was one of the most famous Vikings in history. Bjorn wanted to be just like him, brave, smart, and strong. His mother, Lagertha, was also a great warrior. She taught Bjorn how to fight, ride horses, and protect his people. From a young age, Bjorn showed signs of greatness. He was calm in danger and strong in battle. His brothers looked up to him, and his father trusted him. Bjorn went on his first raid with Ragnar when he was still a teenager. He learned how to sail through storms and fight with sword and axe. He also learned to lead. He wasn't just a fighter, he was a thinker. As he grew older, Bjorn wanted to find his own path. Ragnar told him, "Go see the world. Earn your own name." Bjorn left home with a few ships and a group of loyal warriors. He was ready to explore new lands and prove himself, not just as Ragnar's son, but as a leader in his own right. This was the beginning of Bjorn's journey, a journey that would make him a legend. Bjorn and his crew sailed far from home. They crossed rough seas, battled strong winds, and faced great danger. But Bjorn never showed fear. His men trusted him completely. They reached the shores of France, where tall stone cities waited behind high walls. Most thought these cities could not be taken, but Bjorn had a clever idea. He faked his own death and asked to be buried inside the city as a final wish. The guards let the coffin in, but Bjorn wasn't dead. He leapt out with his sword, surprised the guards, and opened the gates for his army. The Vikings rushed in and won the battle. This brave and clever plan gave Bjorn a new name, Ironside, because he fought like iron and never seemed to bleed. News of Bjorn Ironside spread across Europe. He became known not just for his strength, but for his smart thinking. Other warriors wanted to follow him. Other leaders began to fear him. Bjorn didn't stop. He kept sailing, exploring, and raiding. Every new battle made his name stronger. But Bjorn was not only searching for gold, he was searching for greatness. He wanted to be more than a Viking. He wanted to be remembered forever. After his success in France, Bjorn set his eyes on the warm lands of the south. He and his crew sailed through the Mediterranean Sea, a place most Vikings had never dared to go. The sun was hot, and the lands looked strange, filled with palm trees, big cities, and different people. They reached the coast of Italy and raided rich towns. Some of the people there had never seen Vikings. They called them giants from the cold lands. Bjorn was amazed by the beauty and size of the cities. He had never seen such buildings and temples. He took treasure, yes, but he also took stories and knowledge. He listened, he learned, and he grew. He even tried to attack Rome, the center of a mighty empire, but the city was too well protected. Bjorn realized that not every city could be taken, and not every battle should be fought. He made a smart choice and turned his ships around. His men respected him more for this. He wasn't only brave, he was wise. They returned to their homeland, tired but proud. Bjorn had led them farther than any Viking before. He had shown them the world, and it had changed them all. When Bjorn returned home, the people cheered. He had left as a warrior and come back as a hero. After the death of Ragnar, the Viking world was looking for a new leader. Many looked to Bjorn. Bjorn became the king of Kattegat, a strong Viking port by the sea. As king, he worked hard to protect his people and build a better land. He made fair laws, helped farmers grow food, and made sure the town was safe from enemies. But not everyone agreed with his ways. Some of his brothers wanted war, while others wanted peace. Bjorn tried to keep the family together, but it was not easy. Even with trouble inside, Bjorn never stopped leading. He trained new warriors, built better ships, and made Kattegat strong. He was not just a fighter anymore. He was a king who had learned from the world and cared for his people. But danger was always close. Far away, new enemies were gathering. Enemies who didn't just want treasure. They wanted everything. And soon, Bjorn would face his greatest test. The calm in Kattegat ended when news came of the Rus Vikings, a powerful force from the east. They were led by Prince Oleg, a cold and ruthless leader. His army was massive and well-trained. Bjorn knew this was no small fight. If the Rus took Kattegat, everything would be lost. He tried to make peace with his brothers and gather all the Viking clans. He reminded them, "We must stand together, or we will fall alone." The Rus army marched with strange weapons and silent discipline. They built fear wherever they went. People in Kattegat were afraid, but Bjorn stood tall. "We will not run," he said. "We will fight for our home." The enemy attacked with great power. The battle was long and bloody. Bjorn was struck down early, and a rumor spread that he was dead. But his spirit was not broken. Even from his bed, weak and wounded, Bjorn gave orders. He told his people to hold the gates, to protect the city, to fight with honor. His voice, his presence, even in pain, gave them hope. The final battle was near, and Bjorn Ironside would face it no matter what. As the Rus army prepared to crush Kattegat, something amazing happened. Bjorn Ironside, badly wounded, dressed in his armor, and mounted his horse. Many thought he was dead. The Rus were shocked to see him riding toward them, sword in hand. He looked like a ghost, like a god from the old stories. The enemy paused. If Bjorn still lived, maybe they hadn't won after all. He rode straight into danger, fearless as ever. The sight of him gave his warriors new strength. They shouted his name and charged forward with renewed fire. Bjorn swung his sword and struck fear into his enemies one last time. His men pushed the Rus back and saved Kattegat, for now, but Bjorn had given everything. He collapsed after the battle, his strength finally gone. His people carried him gently home, knowing what he had done. Bjorn had not just fought. He had saved his people with courage no wound could stop. Bjorn lay in his bed quiet and calm. The people he had protected gathered around him. His brothers sat by his side, silent and proud. He looked out the window at the sea. The waves were soft, the sky golden with the setting sun. Bjorn knew his time had come. He smiled. "I have seen the world," he said. "I have fought well, I have led with heart. My path ends here." He closed his eyes, holding his sword. The great Viking king, Bjorn Ironside, took his final breath. No tears were shed, only silence. For he had lived a life so full, so brave, that nothing more needed to be said. Bjorn Ironside was gone, but his final day was filled with peace. His body was carried to the top of a cliff, where the sea met the sky. There he was laid to rest with his sword and armor. No songs were sung, no great speeches made, only the sound of waves and wind. His people stood still, remembering the man who had fought for them, ruled them, and led them to safety time and time again. Bjorn didn't want to be remembered as a hero or a god. He wanted to be remembered as a Viking, a warrior who loved his people, protected his home, and never gave up. And so the story of Bjorn Ironside ended, not with crowns or treasure, but with honor. He came from greatness, rose through courage, and left the world with nothing left to prove.